Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a My 2 Cent video for this week, for the week of July 17th to the 23rd, where I take a look at a couple of stories that caught my attention and give you my thoughts and my opinion about them. And we got 4 stories to cover this week, including both the creators of Minecraft and the creators of Final Fantasy series, basically their positions on NFTs though. And we also have basically talked about another unionization that could be happening at Activision though. We also apparently are hearing reports with Activision though, about the possibility that the whole Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal could possibly happen as early as next month, although one YouTuber by the name of Hogan Law has some doubts about that. And of course, June 2022's NPD is currently out right now. And if you're interested in where I got the source of these information and all that, I'll have links down in the description down below, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. But before we get started, I like to do what I like to call the quick My 2 Cents. Stories that kind of caught my attention, but I'm not going to go into a huge amount of details though. We learned that basically Fire Emblem Fates and other games, Fire Emblem Fates though, will be removed from the eShop a month before the eShop stores on both the Wii U and the 3DS go off online, which will be, I believe it's around March 2023 though. It's a little unfortunate that it's happening and all that stuff, and it kind of brings up the whole issue of basically, the whole digital future, the downside of this and all the issue about digital purchases and all. So it definitely adds more to that situation and all. I mean, I hope maybe a remake of Fire Emblem Fates will make its way over to the Nintendo Switch. Same with Awakening and other Fire Emblem games. I think they deserve a chance on the Nintendo Switch, given that's Nintendo's main platform now, though. We also learned that supposedly the remake of Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII was in the works during when basically the Final Fantasy VII remake was being done and all. So it's kind of interesting to hear a little bit about where this remake or remaster of Crisis Core of Union Final Fantasy VII was being, in the works and all that stuff. Destructoid has an article on it, so it's worth taking a look at. We also learned that basically Bandai Namco Japan has filed a trademark for something called Blue Bullet Pride though. At this time, we don't know what the project is. We don't know if it's going to be something along the lines of, the Tale series or Scarlet Nexus or another fighting game or another RPG. So, excuse me, it remains to be seen at this time, so we'll have to wait and see though. But no doubt Bandai Namco has been on a roll, especially last year when Tales of Arise and Scarlet Nexus came out though. We also learned that supposedly a game that draws inspiration from the Castlevania or maybe the Metroidvania series by the name of KOU MAJOU, Scarlet Symptom, will be getting a physical release in Japan though. No word about a Western release. However, the game did appear up available for pre-order on PlayAsia. On top of that, there will be, I believe, English subtitles though. So for those who are considering importing the game though, that should be good news though, as while I have nothing problem with the Switch being region free though, sometimes importing games, there could be a language barrier that could be an issue for some though. So nice to hear there will be like English subtitles at the very least though. But pre-orders are open in terms of basically for at PlayAsia, if that's the kind of game that interests you though. We also learned that Camelot has updated its official website with Golden Sun artwork. Now this could be multiple things though. This could just be them updating the history of Camelot in general though, or at the same time it could open the doors to the possibility that the Golden Sun series could be making its way to the Nintendo Switch. While nothing official has been announced at this time or anything like that, I do think Nintendo should consider bringing the series, reviving the series though. Maybe remake the first 2 Golden Sun games and bring them over to the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo DS version though. I mean, we've been seeing successes on the Nintendo Switch. We've recently Live Alive had just came out though. We've also seen we're now up to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which will be out this month though. So I really think Nintendo should consider bringing this series back, along with F-Zero as well. We also learned that basically rumors are going around suggesting that Advance Wars could be delayed into 2023. Supposedly it was supposed to come out this year, but got delayed due to the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia though. So we'll have to wait and see. I can't rule out the possibility it could be delayed till next year, but time will ultimately tell. We also learned that Oddworld Soulstorms will be coming to the Nintendo Switch. After all, last week it was reported that it was spotted on a Dutch retailer, but now it's been officially confirmed that it will be coming to the Nintendo Switch. That certainly is nice indeed, especially for those who are Oddworld fans. We also learned the UK government will not rule out the possibility of legislation against loot boxes and all, and it would be really interesting if they push ahead with that, to be exact though. Personally, I wouldn't be against this in any way. We've seen the kind of predatory practice before, especially the backlash after what we saw with Star Wars Battlefront 2 though. We learned that there's an odd rumor going around that the release date for God of War Ragnarok may have been originally the plans were to put the release date on the same one where Starfield would have come out, to be exact though. Basically the rumor had it that was the date before moving it at the last minute and all. Again, we don't know if that is true or not, to be exact though, but we know that the game will be coming out this year, barring any major delays. I'm looking forward to picking that one, God of War Ragnarok nevertheless. I did enjoy God of War 2018, so this one I'll be definitely keeping an eye out for. We also learned that we saw some footage of supposedly the sequel to Yakuza Like a Dragon that has surfaced online, courtesy, I believe, of Famitsu and all. Personally, I'm looking forward to playing that one when it comes out though. I did enjoy Yakuza Like a Dragon though. I did like how they decided to take a RPG route to it though, so I certainly will keep keeping an eye out on that one. We also learned that John Romero, if I'm saying the name correctly, is basically hiring folks to develop a new original first-person shooter. No word on what this game may be though, and we do hear he's claiming he's working with a major publisher. We'll have to wait and see what this game turns out. Hopefully it turns out to be good or anything like that. As for whether it will come to the Nintendo Switch or not, that remains to be seen at this time, since we have yet to see what the game is or anything like that though. We also learned that Final Fantasy X series has hit over 20 million, which is certainly very good. Final Fantasy X, along with Final Fantasy 12, remain one of my favorite Final Fantasy games out there. So it's nice to see it do very well, especially since the game is available on the Nintendo Switch though. So kudos to that though. Maybe one day Square Enix will do a Final Fantasy X3. Who knows? I personally think they should, but we'll have to wait and see. And we learned that basically Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a Cowabunga collection, will be set for a release date of August 30th. I am definitely looking forward to this one. I am a fan of the old Ninja Turtles arcade games. I'm looking forward to that. I still think this one should have come out before Shredder's Revenge, to be exact, to sort of kind of build up hype for it though, but better late than never though. And last but not least, in the movie side, not the non-game side, apparently it seems as though we are moving ahead with the sequel to, I believe it was 2021's Mortal Kombat reboot. Apparently that did very well at the box office, despite being available on both HBO Max and all, and apparently they're getting the original director who did it to come back and direct the sequel. We'll have to see how well this one does though. We'll see if it ends up being like Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which not everyone liked, or if it finds the success the way the Sonic the Hedgehog movies have been doing lately. So time will ultimately tell. Okay, with the quick my 2 cent part now done, we'll get started with our first story, and this one has to do with the NPD, particularly June 2022's NPD. As you know, the numbers are out in terms of how games did in June though, and while it doesn't look like a huge amount of shifts seem to have happened though, there were some new entries to be exact, and some games saw themselves back on the list and all. So it's very interesting to see that though. So in terms of basically, we'll start off first with the top 20 best-selling games of the month in the US. And the list goes as the following though. Number 1 is Elden Ring. Number 2 is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Number 3 is Mario Striker Battle League. So kind of interesting to see that, despite some criticisms about that game and all. Number 4 is MLB The Show 2022. Number 5 is Overwatch. Number 6 is Mario Kart 8. Number 7 is Nintendo Switch Sport. Number 8 is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Number 9 is Final Fantasy VII Remake. And interesting enough, they point out last month in rank, it was at 159. So at number 9, it's kind of impressive to be exact though. Let's see, number 10 is Minecraft. Number 11, number 9, number 10 is Minecraft. Number 11 is Call of Duty Vanguard. Number 12 is F1 22. Number 13 is Monster Hunter Rise. It was originally last month in rank. It was at number 30. Number 14 is Demon Slayer. Number 15, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 16 is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Number 17 is Sonic Origins. Number 18 is Pokemon League Arceus. Number 19 is The Quarry. And number 20 is Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Over at the best-selling games of 2022 so far, we have Elden Ring at number 1, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga at number 2, Pokemon Legends Arceus at number 3, Horizon 2 Forbidden West at number 4, MLB The Show 22 at number 5, Call of Duty Vanguard at number 6, Gran Turismo 7 at number 7, no pun intended, Kirby and the Forgotten Land at number 8, Mario Kart 8 at number 9, Madden NFL 22 at number 10, Nintendo Switch Sports at number 11, Minecraft at number 12, FIFA 22 at number 13, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales at number 14, Monster Hunter Rise at number 15, Animal Crossing New Horizon at number 16, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at number 17, Mario Party Superstar at number 18, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at number 19, and Dying Light 2 Stay Human at number 20. Over in terms of the top 10 best-selling games of the last 12 months for June 22's NPD, it has Elden Rings at number 1, Call of Duty Vanguard at number 2, Madden NFL 22 at number 3, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl at number 4, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga at number 5, Battlefield 2042 at number 6, FIFA 22 at number 7, Far Cry 6 at number 8, Pokemon Legends Arceus at number 9, and Horizon 2 Forbidden West at number 10. Over on the top best-selling Nintendo platform games in the US for June 2022, they have Mario Striker Battle League at number 1, Mario Kart 8 at number 2, Nintendo Switch Sport at number 3, Kirby and the Forgotten Land at number 4, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at number 5, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes at number 6, Pokemon Legends Arceus at number 7, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga at number 8, Animal Crossing New Horizon at number 9, and the Demon Slayer at number 10. In regards on the PlayStation platform side, we have Elden Ring at number 1, MLB The Show 22 at number 3, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga at number 3. Okay, MLB The Show 22 was at number 2, my bad. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales at number 4, Horizon 2 Forbidden West at number 5, The Quarry at number 6, Overwatch at number 7, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart at number 8, Call of Duty Vanguard at number 9, Gran Turismo 7 at number 10. On the Xbox side of things, we have Elden Ring at number 1, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga at number 2, Overwatch at number 3, F1 22 at number 4, Call of Duty Vanguard at number 5, Far Cry 6 at number 6, pun intended, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at number 7, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 at number 8, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 at number 9, and Forza Horizon 5 at number 10. And according to Matt Piscatella, in terms of hardware sales, it points out that PlayStation 5 generated the highest dollar sales among video game hardware platforms in both June and the first half of the calendar year of 2022, while Switch led in both time period and unit sales, though. So the main takeaway from this is that the list hasn't really much changed at all. I mean, Elden Rings and Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga still continues to do very well. I mean, obviously, Traveling Tales and Bandai Namco have to be happy with the fact that their games are at the top of the chart, and it's doing really well, particularly from Software and Bandai Namco. Although I do admit, pressure is going to be on them if they decide to do another Souls-like game or a sequel to, say, Elden Rings in general, though. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that will play out. But they must be pretty happy to see that game is really doing very well. And I could see both of these games get nominated for Game of the Year when that happens, to be exact, though. Seeing Monster Hunter Rise and basically Final Fantasy VII remake on the list is kind of interesting. I think a lot of Monster Hunter Rise on that list has to do with basically Sunbreaker out and how well that is doing, while Final Fantasy VII, I think we're looking forward because of the announcement for the next chapter in the Final Fantasy VII remake, plus the Crisis Core remake Final Fantasy VII certainly added to that, so that may have sparked new interest in the Chapter 1 of the Final Fantasy VII remake saga and all. And seeing Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hope make it onto the list is certainly nice. Obviously entered in at number 16. It'll be interesting to see if it goes up or down the list, or see where it stands in the top 10 Nintendo games for, next month and further along. But I mean, for a Warriors game, it's a Nintendo themed Warrior game, and I still like that, though. So still like those type of games, to be exact. So, and as far as hardware goes, interesting to see the PlayStation 5 back on top, though, even though it has been up and down, though, with, the Xbox Series X and S. That seems to be doing very well for Microsoft. I've said this before, and I say it again. This time, things are a little bit different. It's not like what it was last generation between, Xbox One and the PS4, where PS4 was really dominated, mostly because of the decisions Microsoft and Nintendo made for their systems, to be exact. So overall, though, not a huge change on what's going on, though. A couple games have made it onto the list, though. Some games like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Monster Hunter Rise re-entered the top 20, obviously because of some of the announcements that were made for those games, though. So very interesting on the list, though. Like I said, not a huge amount of change, but we'll see what happens when in August, when they announce July's 2022's NPD and all. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 2. And this one has to do with basically Activision Blizzard and a report coming out that indicate that it's possible the deal could close between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard as early as probably next month, with also another report coming out that Microsoft could be eyeing to buy Netflix and all. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of my 2 cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at Activision Blizzard and even Netflix to some degree, though. Now, as probably you are aware, though, Microsoft earlier this year, purchased Activision Blizzard, which was going through its all sorts of issues, to be exact, particularly with the whole sexual harassment suit, for I think a whopping like around $70 billion or something. I'll have to double check on that. And that kind of shocked some people to see that Microsoft was doing that. And not to mention, we've been seeing them be more aggressive, ranging from buying smaller studios to even Bethesda, which kind of surprised a lot of folks. Now, obviously, we've been seeing situations where the FTC is looking into the purchase of Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, just like how they looked into basically Sony buying Bungie, although recently it's been reported that's been clear and all that. stuff to be exact though. And we've also heard stories of how the CWA, I think Communication Workers America Alliance though, if I'm saying the name correctly, a union that's representing, some of the testers at Raven Software for Activision Blizzard though, recently gave their thumbs up to go ahead for the FTC to move ahead with this deal and all. Well, recently there have been some reports coming out though that basically the deal could be approved next month though, although a YouTuber by the name of Hogan Law, if I'm saying the name correctly though, doesn't seem to be that it's not going to be as wrapped up as many people think it's going to be though. He's more into like the legal and all that stuff though. Check out his channel though. It's really neat when he looks at a lot of things, whether it's video game related to non-video game related, like the whole Twitter and Elon Musk issue and all that. But anyway, moving on, he used an article from Video Game Chronicles that recently wrote this about basically the Microsoft Activision buyout though. According to the article, it says that, quote, the FTC asked Microsoft and Activision Blizzard for additional information in March as it continues to review their proposal acquisition deal. And according to paywall merger news provider Deal Reporter VI Seeking Alpha, Microsoft has now provided the FTC with the information it was looking for. As noted by the FTC's own guidelines via Real MI Central, this means the body now has 30 days to challenge the acquisition, otherwise the deal can continue though. The article continues with, there are some caveats to this, however, as the FTC guidance on the process points out, both companies have to provide the required information before the 30-day countdown can begin. Typically, once both companies have substantially complied with the second request, the agency has an additional 30 days to review the materials and take actions if necessary, it says. It's not yet clear if Activision has provided its share of the request information yet. If not, the 30-day window will presumably only start when it does. Once the FTC has received the information from both companies, there are three potential outcomes the FTC could either, according to them, close the investigation and let the merger proceed unchallenged, negotiate with the company to add some agreed rules that will make sure the market stays competitive though. I think we saw this, back in the late 90s when the FTC went after Microsoft and they made sort of a deal to basically prevent Microsoft from breaking up and all. I think I remember hearing about that. To seek to stop the deal by filing a prematurely injunction in federal court. I think they did that with NVIDIA and all. If the FTC decides to close the investigation, the deal could move closer to being finalized. However, the other major caveat is that the deal is also being investigated by the Communication Competitor and Market Authorities, CMA, UK equivalent of the FTC, as well as regulators in other regions. The CMA has set deadline of September 1st to give its initial decision on the matter, and if it decides the merger should go ahead for whatever reason, then the deal shouldn't go ahead, then the deal may still not be done though. Meanwhile, over at Windows Central, it's a report coming out that thinks that one analyst believes that Microsoft could be in the process of buying Netflix, though, at least according to what this analyst is saying. According to what it points out, it says, quote, Microsoft is actually teaming up with Netflix per an announcement a couple of days ago. The Netflix new, more affordable ad-supporting streaming tier. Microsoft was picked as the exclusive ad marketplace and technology partner for the new service. It will be another feather in the cap of Microsoft's growing ad business, which is no slouch at $10 billion in revenue last year, although it compares in comparison to the likes of Google, up to $160 billion for the same period. In any case, one analyst speaking to Yahoo Finance claimed that the partnership betrays a possible long-term goal, namely an exit for Netflix, which has been struggling to diversify its revenue streaming and find new growth as of late. A decline in subscribers saw a massive investor exodus over the past year, with Netflix shares price tanking at an absolute battering for its peak of 690 points all the way down to 177 points points today when this article came out. This is what the analyst had to say. Quote, "It could be that Netflix is looking for an exit. Netflix is trying to get closer to Microsoft in hopes that after Microsoft digests its Activision acquisition, it could turn and buy Netflix. This analyst report suggests that it's only Microsoft who could foot the potential $100 billion in value for Netflix once the Activision Blizzard deal closes, while also navigating regulatory approval. For sure, many other companies who would be able to grab Netflix, such as Amazon or Google, already have large video streaming service of their own. And it shows that when it comes to streaming charts, though, it has Netflix at 21%, while Prime Videos is at 22%, with HBO Max at 15%, Disney Plus at 14%, Hulu at 10%, Apple TV at 6%, Paramount Plus at 4%, and others at 10%. In terms, could the Activision Blizzard deal be done by early as next month? I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, I can't rule out the fact that they want to get this deal done before the end of the year and all, and get the ball rolling into 2023 to be exact, though. But still, we'll have to wait and see what the FTC does, though. I mean, we know that the chairwoman of the FTC is going to be a bit more aggressive in terms of these tech companies buying up a lot of stuff, buying up these companies and all. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. We'll find out in August. Maybe it will be done. Maybe we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see how this all turns out. As for Microsoft buying Netflix and all, I mean, I certainly won't rule out the possibility that could technically happen, to be exact, considering that Netflix is teaming up with Microsoft. Do I think they're going to, assuming if it does happen, obviously it will bring attention in terms of Microsoft is buying everything. Obviously they'll have to go through the whole FTC process, so we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out for them, though. On the other hand, though, by buying Netflix, though, it might give them an opportunity to bring some of their IPs and all to basically run on, say, like, be only available on Netflix and all that stuff. So, like, if they decide to move the second season of Halo over to Netflix, or a Fallout, or Starfield, assuming how well that does, or Dishonor, or anything like that, I mean, they would have their own streaming service and all that stuff. So it would be really interesting. For now, it doesn't sound like that sounds like there's any indication that is happening. It seems as though Netflix is teaming with Microsoft in terms of offering a more affordable subscription service, one that features ads and all, to compared to those who would pay more with no ads whatsoever. So we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out. But overall, I would say that I wouldn't rule out the possibility that the Activision Blizzard deal could be done next month, though. We'll have to wait and see especially what the FTC has to say. As for Microsoft buying Netflix, though, I wouldn't rule that out. I think it could potentially happen, but we'll have to wait and see. But if it does happen, expect to wait to hear any official announcement until after Microsoft is done with Activision Blizzard deal, though. So if Microsoft decides to buy Netflix, expect to wait a little while before they make that official announcement. I seriously doubt they want to make that announcement right now and all. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 3. And this one has to do with, again, Activision, and this time another union might be emerging from Activision, though. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 3 of my 2 cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at another possible unionization going on at Activision Blizzard, though. Recently, we've been seeing some places that I never thought in a million years would be seeing basically push for more unionization than I have ever thought, though. Most people think of unionization, they think, like the factory worker, or even like basically, the blue collar type of workers and all, though I consider myself a blue collar person and all. But we've also seen other places where unionization has started to pop up that we never thought in a million years. We've heard about, ranging from Amazon. There's been some success and failures on that one. Although there was one where there were reports of union busting tactics when a vote was happening, which, if that is accurate and if that is true, then I do think Amazon should face consequences for their action, and I think that they should redo that vote. At least that's how I'm looking at it, though. To even places like ranging from Starbucks to basically Chipotle to even I remember hearing about a Apple store, I think outside of Maryland. Employees voted in favor of unionization, and we've been seeing a lot of it in sort of like the tech industry, particularly also in the video game industry, where we've heard about the Raven software testers voted yes for unionization, to even where Microsoft has made a commitment to their claim that they will be union neutral, though. And it will be very interesting to see if they bring that stance, where now we're hearing that another unionization outside of Albany, New York is starting to emerge as in Activision Blizzard's, studios. And this one mostly has to do with Vicaria Vision, or the studio used to be called Vicaria Vision. In an article posted on, and there have been several, let me get that out of the way, and there have been several articles from basically other sites, but this one I'm going to read from CNBC. It reads at quote, let me see here, did I get that? Yeah, okay, there we go. It says, quote, a group of software testers at Activision Blizzard has formed the company's second unions in the months before Microsoft expected to close nearly $69 billion, 70 billion is close enough, acquisition of the video game publisher. Employees at the company's Blizzard Entertainment division in Albany, New York, are working with the Communication Workers America to assemble their own group in the Gaming Workers Alliance, which was formed by staff elsewhere at Activision. In a series of tweets under the name of GWA Albany, the group says it's seeking competitive compensation with transparency, better benefits, clearer process for communication about workplace issues, and improving work-life balance. The unit consists of 20 people, according to the CWA, though. While labor movements have historically been rare in technology industries, where pay and benefits tend to be stronger than other parts of the economy, they're becoming more familiar recently, though. Small groups of workers at Alphabet and Apple have taken steps to organize, and in April, Amazon workers on New York Staten Island became the first group to vote in favor of unionization at one of the company's U.S. facilities. At Activision, the labor demand comes with greater haste after instances of alleged sexual misconduct at the company that CEO Bobby Kotick reportedly knew for years without informing the board. Microsoft first reached out to Activision as a possible tie-up the same week that report surfaced, according to a regulatory filing about the deal. An Activision spokesman said the company will respond to Albany's union petition to the National Labor Relationship Board. We deeply respect the rights of all employees under the law to make their own decisions about whether or not to join a union, the spokesman said. We believe that direct relationship between the company and employee is the most productive relationship. Regarding the allegations against Bobby Kotick, a separate spokesman said that based on an outside review, the board found no evidence that any senior executives even eternally ignored or attempted to downplay an instance of gender harassment occurred, as we reported. The union activity at Activision, whose Blizzard division produced games including Diablo, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft, date to late 2021, though. So basically, it's a little bit of a history about all of this, though. And it points out about what a comment that, Brad Smith made in a blog post in June that saying, quote, we're committed to creating and collaborating approach with unions when employees wish to exercise their rights, and Microsoft presented with specific unionization proposal. He said the company doesn't believe efforts to stop employees from starting or joining the union is beneficial, though. So very interesting to see another company or another part of Activision Blizzard start pushing for unionization, though. That said, though, my position on unionization still remains the same, regardless of whether it's, Starbucks, Chipotle, Apple, or, with Activision Blizzard. And that is any decision on unionization needs to be the employee's decision. I know it sounds like a broken record saying this, but I still stay behind that though. They need to weigh the pros and cons and determine if unionization is the right direction to go. And if they feel that that is the direction they want to go, then that's fine though. I mean, and the vote needs to be done if they want, if they want to vote for unionization, it needs to be free and fair and no outside interference whatsoever. While I agree that unions should not bully or threaten or intimidate anybody from joining the union, I would say the same rule applies to those who use any form of union busting tactics of any type whatsoever though. And when we're hearing reports of how employees are treating the tech industry to, crunch, to harassment, to a whole lot of stuff though, I can see where the push for unionization is starting to emerge though. So we'll have to wait and see if Microsoft will recognize the second union, how they respond to it. They remain union neutral and allow the CWA to give the go-ahead to FTC for Microsoft to buy Activision Blizzard. I'm very curious to see if they will remain union neutral on this. I personally think they should, but we'll have to see what Microsoft does and all. So overall, very interesting to see another company within another game developers in Activision Blizzard announce that they are forming doing unionization though. It will be very interesting to see what Microsoft and the heads of Activision Blizzard truly does though. And like I said, it hasn't changed my opinion on unionization. I believe it needs to be a free and fair vote with no outside interference, and employees have to make the decision on their own. They got to weigh the pros and cons and see if this is the right direction for them to go. And based on what I've read, though, it sounds like this is the direction that they want to go and all. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to our fourth and final part. And this one has to do with NFTs and how the developers of Minecraft and the developers of Final Fantasy, what their stance is in regards of NFTs and all. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with our fourth and final part of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at NFTs, which obviously many people have been seeing it on the news lately though. We've seen cases where some companies have started to push for, the NFTs, these digital purchases or blockchains and all, but we've also seen backlash from NFTs as well. We've seen where the developers of Stalker 2 wanted to do an NFT, but suffered some backlash and decided to pull, the NFTs out altogether. We've seen the case with basically I remember hearing about the whole situation with the Bored Ape and Seth Green, how the whole idea of, the fact that someone stole, claimed that he had that NFT or anything like that, and it sort of brought the whole issue of do you really own something when you make a digital purchase on like the metaverse and all, to the whole idea that it's viewed as like a Ponzi scheme or just a money grabbing scam and all that. So, but that's we've seen a lot, of developers of video in terms of video games try to really push hard on NFTs. Even Ubisoft CEO making a claim that we don't get it. Well, yeah, okay. And well, it seems as though two video games companies, the Square Enix and the creators of the Minecraft, have certainly different views on NFTs and all. The first one, in terms of Square Enix, this one comes from Push Square, and it reads that, quote, though, it basically talks about how Square Enix sold off a bunch of studios and properties to Embracer Groups, and all that, the folks who make the Tomb Raider and Deus Ex series, and their attempt to push for, NFTs though. According to this article from Push Square, it reads that, quote, a new Final Fantasy VII action figure has been revealed, and the digital purchase edition comes with an NFT version. If you buy this admittedly pretty cool looking figure of protagonist Cloud Strife, if I'm saying the name correctly, and pay an extra $30 for the aforementioned digital Plus edition, that's $159.99, $160. You get a digital certification of authenticity and a digital version of the figure. The official product describes continues. Both digital certificate and authenticity and digital version of figures are managed by the blockchain technology known as NFT. Digital certification of authenticity proves proof of authenticity for your original purchase of the figure. Digital version of the figure can be enjoyed on your smartphone or your PC through dedicated websites. The article reads, of course, the most ironic part of this Final Fantasy story revolves around the damage that humans are doing to the planet. Generally speaking, NFT requires a lot of computer power to maintain, a point which has formed a key argument against their existence. It's fair to say Barrett would not approve, and neither would Cloud by the end of the game. As you expect, Square Enix has already been bombarded with criticisms over this on social media and various gaming forums. There was a point a few months back when it sounded like almost every publisher was eyeing up the potential of a hot new trend known as NFTs. Ubisoft was obviously the first one to dive in, but now that controversial technology popularity has pretty much fallen off a cliff. You could say the same thing with cryptocurrencies as well at this time. It feels more these companies are quickly and quietly abandoning ship. As such, Square Enix has run the risk of seeming out of touch with the reveal of this figure. Meanwhile, over at Push Square, according to them, the Xbox set positive prediction as Minecraft says no to NFTs. It reads, quote, Mojang Studios had put forward a stance on NFTs and their place in Minecraft, and it's a positive one for the swath of gamers who are vocal about their disband for the technology. In short, Mojang has said that NFTs in Minecraft are generally not something we will support or allow. The developer said that the use of NFTs is not permitted across pretty much all aspects of Minecraft within the games, clients or servers for use as in-game content, as mods, all the rest of it. Basically, the team doesn't accept NFTs and it won't be integrating them into Minecraft though. Now, they also said that, quote, that they haven't ruled out the technology completely, but just not on board with it though. Their stance on this says, quote, we will be paying close attention to how blockchain technology evolves over time to ensure that the above principles are withheld and determine whether it will allow for more secure experience or other practical and inclusive applications in gaming. However, we have no plans to implement blockchain technology into Minecraft right now. So, kind of interesting to see how Square Enix is basically really pushing the NFTs, but Mojang, the creators of Minecraft, are not though. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how people respond to the NFTs that Square Enix is putting out though. But yeah, I can see why NFTs are getting the blowback that it deserves at this moment though. It's, like I said, it's viewed as a money scheme to basically it's not secure or anything like that. Perhaps maybe one day though, blockchains or NFTs might be more reasonable and might be the new norm though at some point down the road. Maybe when the technology gets better to addressing some of the environmental concerns, maybe one day NFTs may not be a bad thing. Same with the situation with cryptocurrency, how that has crashed and all that stuff. But for now, I think at the moment though, people are just not on board with NFTs at this time. And I think Square Enix is making a big mistake on this though. And it does kind of give the question of them being sort of out of touch to a certain degree. Don't get me wrong, Square Enix can make great games though. Octopath Traveler is a good example of it though. So yeah, they can produce great games, but they've also made extremely bad decisions though. And obviously the NFT situation to me sounds like that's a pretty bad decision though. So overall, perhaps over time, when the technology gets better and the environmental issues are addressed, including security issues and the issue of owning a digital item or something like that, perhaps maybe NFTs and blockchains might be the new norms, like I said, with cryptocurrencies. But for right now, I don't think we're at that stage just yet. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe over time, to be exact, there could be a change. But right now, I kind of have to side with the creators of Minecraft, assuming what they're saying is correct and they stand behind their words, though, that right now we're just not there with NFTs, and I just don't think that the reception people are giving about NFTs is not there. So I question Square Enix's decision on this and all. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about June 2022's NPD though? Are you impressed that Elden Ring and Lego Star Wars and Skyward Saga is still being at the top over there though? Are you surprised to see something like Sonic Origins or Fire Emblem 3 Hopes make it into the top 20? Are you interested? Did you think the idea of PS5 being on top compared to last month, I think with the Xbox Series S and X? And also, were you just impressed with June 2022's NPD? What are your thoughts about Activision Blizzard deal? Do you think it could be closed by next month, August 2022, or do you think it might take a little bit longer though? And given the fact that Netflix is partnering up with Microsoft in terms of this subscription with ads in it, do you think this is a precursor to Microsoft possibly buying Netflix in any way? What are your thoughts about another union forming with one of the studios with Activision Blizzard though? Do you support this decision for them to do that? Do you not? Do you think we could maybe see more and more video game studios and their employees start pushing for unionization and all? And what do you think about the situation with NFTs? Do you think Square Enix is in the right with what they're doing though, or do you think that they are in the wrong with the NFTs? Do you think the creators of Minecraft, Mojang, if I'm saying the name correctly, do you think they're right on their response to not accept NFTs though? Do you think that at some point NFTs will eventually be the new norm depending on how they address the environmental issues or the security and technology issue though? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You can do it through PayPal me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this video, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!